everyone, welcome to another episode of the Crystal Beauty Show. Today with me I have Evangelist Stella Grace, who is also the host of Voice of Hope. How are you doing today?
I'm blessed. How are you doing?
Doing good. You look amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
Who designed your outfit?
Stella Grace.
Are you a designer?
I'm a designer in the making.
Awesome. So tell us, how did you get into ministry?
Wow. How did I get into ministry?
Yes.
That is a very broad question. But I got into ministry when the call of God was so huge on my life, and that was the only thing I could do, you know. Like Jordan running away from the call, trying to go. God said, go to Nineveh. He said, no, I don't want to go. And he had to go through the stomach of the fish to get there. It came to a point where nothing was workable. Except when I said, Lord, I feel like you want me to do this. How? I didn't even know how to go about it. But there was this word that kept telling me, you're called to be an eye to the blind, a voice to the voiceless, a hope to the hopeless. So when I started just, studying the Bible more, trying to understand what God was telling me to do, and then went back to the Bible school, the first chapter was open. I now understood that He was calling me for ministry. Not like a pastor or a church kind of a ministry, but a ministry to be in the public. The ministry to go out and tell people, hey, you can be down today, it's okay, you'll be up again. So it's a process. I'm still in the making, and I thank Him so far, where He has brought me, how far He has brought me.
Great. And how long have you actually been in ministry?
I would say from 2011,
Okay.
That is when the call was really huge in my life, but I was going through a phase that time in my life. So 2011, 2012, I went through all the traumas, all the tragedies. In 2013, the call was coming. I said yes to the call. But public ministry, I will tell you, is under a year. But in ministry in the making, it's close to 6 to 7 years.
6 to 7 years. Wow.
Yeah.
And who are some of the Christian leaders that you look up to, or that inspire you?
Oh,
And why?
the Christian leaders that inspires me.
Yeah.
I'll first tell you, the person that God used to touch my life when I was going through my stage of lost and found was Joyce Meyer.
Okay.
That was the first lady the Lord brought to me and said, you see, she went through all the history, all the past, all the struggle, and she accepted the call, and today her past is being celebrated because she's using her past to touch lives. So she was one of those figures that God kept using to remind me that my case was not the worst case. People like that have been through it. And at that time when I was really called, I was a member of a very faith-believing church. In that church, I was being taught so many things. They inspired me so much. I mean, I was in Winners Chapel. I was being taught the word. A lot of pastors around the world that were connected to this ministry, I kind of knew them, and they were calling me and helping me, preaching and encouraging me. So I can tell you, a lot of men and women of God have really inspired me. But the person that the Lord used to touch my life and to soften that spot in my life was Joyce Meyer. Because she's a woman. Why I'm saying that, it's not like I'm a feminist, no. But I'm saying that because her struggle, her pain, her history, so many people will look at it like, wow. But she was bold enough to come out of it and stand. So God used her to, there were seasons that God would just bring a word that she's preaching, and it would just hit me, and I kept growing. So she's one of those ladies that, apart from that, we have so many. I have so many men and women of God. So I cannot just be calling back.
Yeah.
There are so many of them.
Okay.
That I listen to them. I read their books. I mean, I read a lot. Yeah. So.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about Voice of Hope. How did you get that started, and what was the inspiration behind it? Because when I watch the videos, there's always something I learned from it. It usually either inspires me, or sometimes you're in that place where you don't even know what's going on, but you hear something that just sparks something in your heart. That's what it does to me. So I would like to know how you got started and what inspired that.
Voice of Hope it's amazing. Last year December, that's in 2017.
Yeah.
You know, I like him so much. Toride, who happens to be my producer. If people don't know, he's been the one God has used so much in my life and in my ministry. So we had we were shooting the promotion for our end of year event, Finishing Strong. You know, that is an event God has given us as a ministry, that every year we should gather his people and speak in their life. So when I contacted him and I came, we did that program, we did the promotion, and he told me, he said, there is something about you. I mean, before then, I think, administered in a church. We met, I don't know if it was single conference or he was actually the cameraman, he was doing the shot. So he told me, he said, there is something that I've seen in you that I believe you are not producing it, you are not giving it out. And I was like, okay. Before him telling me, I already knew that there was so much that the Lord wants me to do, and I was not doing it. So he said, I want us to put something together, and so you can encourage people. You can just, and I was like, okay. So we didn't even have the name yet. We agreed on a date, and a day to come, and he said, okay, let's come back to the studio. Let's just put something together. I see something in you. See, I'm not asking for your money. I'm not asking for anything. I'm just asking for your time. I mean, that is huge. To me, I was like, wow, this can only be God. To be in this century where people like money, people want to achieve, but this young guy is telling me, I see something in you and I want to help you. It's like a midwife, helping you to push that child. So I said, okay. So the day I came for the program, I'm sitting on the chair and he has everything set up, and he was like, what's the name of our program? We were trying to figure it out. Voice of Hope, I don't know if he's the one who said it or I said it, it just came out, poop, and it was just like, it was so prophetic and so dynamic. And we both caught the vision, and we said, okay, we'll be doing this weekly, bi-weekly, put out Voice of Hope, you do a message and encourage people. And we just started. Today it is huge, because there was a preparation in the spirit realm, and it started manifesting in the physical realm. That's why I always tell people, don't hurry. God will bring the right people at the right time. So that is the history behind Voice of Hope.
Correct.
And ever since, God has been taking it from one step to another, and it can only get better.
Yes, it only gets better. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with more. So stay tuned.
Winner, I'm a winner, oh. Winner, I'm a winner for life. Winner, I'm a winner, oh. Winner. Hi everyone, this is Minister David Eder, award-winning gospel artist, author, and producer. Keep watching Crystal Beauty Show.
Welcome back, guys. So before the break, we're actually talking about the Voice of Hope and how it came together. So I would like to know, considering that Voice of Hope gives people hope, it inspires people, motivates people, have you ever found yourself in a situation where you needed that kind of message that you give out to people, and who do you call when you find yourself in that moment?
Wow, I find myself in that moment every day. That's the first thing. As a human being, if you think a pastor, a minister, an evangelist, a prophet has it all figured out, then you have a mistake. Because as human beings, we face attack every now and then. The Bible says it in John 10:10. The thief comes to steal, kill, and to destroy. That is the enemy. At times it comes to steal your peace. So I find myself every day with that struggle, like, are you sure people even accept this message? The devil gives me all these questions at times, like, you putting in too much. How far will you go? So each time I have some close friends that God has really put in my life. They are there with me in the dark time, in the light time, in the rain, no matter how it is. I have some close people that I trust. It's so hard to trust people these days.
Yeah.
Even in the church, it's so hard because you don't know who is who. But God has blessed me with some few people that I know I can take my phone at 12 midnight and say, hey, I want us to pray. I say, hey, I want us to stand in the gap. Can you just help me? I'm feeling this weak. So I have some few friends that are there in my life. And also as a minister, I also have pastor. You know, you must have somebody ahead of you that you can look up to. I have pastors that I call and iron sharpen iron. They sharpen me every now and then, and I also sharpen them. So the struggle is real, but God is so faithful.
Okay, awesome. And I noticed that your videos get between like 5,000 views, over 50,000 views sometimes.
Weekly, yeah.
Yeah, weekly. How did you get to that point, considering that you started in December? And you know you're growing basically, because I actually went and I looked at some of the videos, the ones that you started, and moving forward, as the weeks go by, it's like your fan base increases, is almost like triple. You know, so how did you get yourself to that point? What did you do?
I'm still looking at it like we are not even there yet, because I challenge myself. You see, people compete with other people. People try to challenge others, but I challenge myself because I know where I'm coming from, you know. So every week I sit back every week and I ask God. I say, God, what else can I do to improve next week? That's the first thing. As a leader, don't just be rushing to give out. Try to first give in, and then you can give better. So every week I ask God, what are some of the things I can do to reach more people, to be a blessing? You know, it's not about me taking something, but how can we take this a little bit bigger? So on a weekly basis, I'm constantly reminding myself you can get better. See, there is room for best. So when there is room for best, good and better is bad. You have to challenge yourself for best. So every week we put in time. I tell you, my producer, we come together, we put in time, the quality is getting better. People are more like in tune to the message. And one thing is staying focused to yourself. Be original. When you start faking it, you will start dropping out. But when you're original to yourself, the better is coming out every day, and the best will be coming out every day. So one thing I do is I work on myself. And then the second thing is I reach out to people. So it's not just about somebody liking your video, commenting on your video, and that's it. To me, that's not it. I try to take time to reach out to those people. People that comment, people that like. I take time every week. I put time to follow up and see what else can I do to better know these people. And the more people feel loved, they start sharing the love with others. So they start telling people now about you. And that is the same thing Jesus did. Remember, Jesus came, he did one thing to a woman, and the woman went around the community and said, come see the Jesus that have done this. Before you knew, he was there for days touching other lives. So when you are just quick to have fame, just quick for popularity, you will die out. But when you are quick to touch life, I go for impact, and impactation brings growth. So I believe Voice of Hope, we are still growing, and we will get somewhere.
And how do you get to choose the topics that you handle every week?
I don't really choose the topics. A month, God gives me a word for the month. And when I have the word for the month, I prepared the entire month. Based on that word. So what we do based on that work, what we do, we just do out the episodes. So we share it out, but there is a word. If you watch our video, it's a team that runs across a month. because God is a God of season. That's why he took 6 days, and the first day he said, let there be light. He could still take one day and say, let there be light, let there be this, let there be this, but he took one day just for light. He took one day just for this. So there is a season that he gives us, and when we have that word for that season, we kind of put it out. So it's a lot of work.
But you don't make it look like it's a lot of work.
When you are not faking it, it comes out.
Very true. So what are your plans for Voice of Hope?
Oh, my plans for Voice of Hope is getting Voice of Hope into the widest part of the world, and making it a household TV program around Africa, around the world, and also having others partner with us. You know, it's not just you. It has to be a time where you can train others. You know, you can pour in others and say, hey, you run with this, take this and run with this, take this and run with it. So we are looking at it like going globally, you know, local TV stations, I mean, just spreading the word and having others to partner with us. So that's my 2 goals for this year, and we are working on that.
And what kind of partners are you thinking about?
I'm thinking of partners that will really stand with us, because Voice of Hope is not just what you see, the program where I come and sit and I preach. We do beyond that. We do beyond that. We go deep. We visit people. We touch lives of widows, especially, and orphans. We are just doing so much in the community. So I'm looking at partners that can say, hey, I love what I see you do. How can we partner with you to make it better? Okay. And like, for example, right now I have people in Uganda, in Liberia, in South Africa that are so much happy. They are happy with Voice of Hope. They want me to visit the country and see how we can put something in place. So we are working on also mission trips, all those things. Those are partners that we are looking for. People that can, they can say, oh, we love Voice of Hope. How can we take it to TBN? Yeah. How can we help you to get to Desta? So, yeah.
Awesome. All right. Now, how does someone know that they are called for ministry? Because somebody can be watching this video right now and they say, oh, you know, that's something I've always wanted to do. How do they know if this is a calling, or it's just, maybe they just want the fame?
Oh, how do you know if you're called for ministry?
Correct.
The first thing I'll tell you, everybody is called.
Okay.
The first thing in life is the moment you're born. Even before I formed you, Jeremiah 1 verse 5, the Lord says, even before you were formed out of your mother's womb, I knew you and I called you. Now everybody is called for something. So if you're putting it down to ministry, some people are called as doctors. Right from childhood, they just want to heal. They just want to be like, talk about medicine. Ministry is, you will be called when you know that all what you feel like doing is to study the Bible and tell somebody else. Ministry is when you can sit down in that place when you're quiet, nobody is seeing you, and you cry out and say, Lord, how can I go out and heal the sick? How can I just be a change? These are things that you normally will not desire for. These are things that you will not even feel like doing. But when you find yourself cheated, all what you want to do is study the word. All what you want to do is go out and start doing something for God. All what you want to do is just talk about where you're coming from, your story. It starts with little trains of you always trying to tell people, hey, this is my testimony. Before you know, people are calling you. I heard about this testimony. How true is it? Correct. How are you sure it can happen? Now you start feeling like, oh, I need to go more. How can I tell more people? That is how you feel that ministry, you are being called. Now there's a difference between called, anointed, appointed. It's a long topic. But when God calls you, He's going to take you through a training. So the next thing is the training phase, which is not a public training. It's when you are in the wilderness like David. There are some things that happen in your wilderness time that nobody sees it. You alone, and you'll be asking God, oh God. Things that happen to others and they die, but you come out of it. That is ministry. And after God has given you the training, He gives you an assignment. So ministry has a phrase. If you look at me and you say, oh, I want to be a minister. Hey, baby, you have to go through that phrase. There is a calling, yes. There is a training, yes. There is an assignment, yes. And then there is an appointment. And then the appointment now rounds it up. So look at the life of David. He was called, but he didn't even know. When it was time for God to elevate David, he was in the wilderness. They brought him from the wilderness, took him to the palace. He went through the training. He started like a playing boy. He was playing to King Saul. And then God was training him all through, because he was supposed to be the king. But he had to go to the palace and be trained how to become a king. So a minister, you have to be trained. And when you go through the training without complaining, without grumbling, there were days that God will want me to go pray for people and I don't even have food to eat. But the call is on my life, I will go pray. And when I come out, somehow God will bless me. So it's a long process, and one day I will talk about it on my show. Because I see so many people jumping into ministry. Let me tell you, if you start doing it when you're not prepared, you're attracting the devil, and the challenges, the attack will be too huge. You don't want to get in deep. So you take time, you pray, and God will answer you and he will show you. And also the last thing, how do you even know? God will start using people to confirm it to you. People will be telling you, I think you are called for this thing. There will be confirmation. So I know preachers, we talk too much.
All right. So do you have any last words for our viewers?
Oh, I always have a last word. Just thank you so much for this interview. I believe that God used you, because when you reach out, you were like, oh, can we do something? I said, sure. And I know that God is going to use this to bless so many people. And this month of June happened to be a month of celebration. I mean, that's what the Lord gave me this month. And I'm telling people, you just have to celebrate. You just have to live in expectation, believing that this month will be good. And also, if you're struggling, yo, girl, we struggle all the time, every day. If you're struggling in any area of your life, be it in your health, finances, relationship, career, I want you to stand and just know that God is able to do even beyond your struggle. Have faith. Chase away fear. It's easy to be afraid, but it's difficult to have faith. So if you're standing right now and you're going through some problems, I want to pray for you that the faith of Jesus Christ, he has given you already. Just use it and you will go through and you will celebrate this month in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And we'll definitely have you again. Because this interview, I wanted to just get to know you, get to know what you do. The next interview, we're going to have a specific topic that I'll have our viewers let us know what they want you to talk about.
I can't wait.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As usual, leave your comments, follow us on Twitter, like our Facebook page. And until next time, this is Crystal saying bye-bye.